Didn't have myself up on the screen. Good evening, everyone. Let me put this in the chat for Mr. Charles. I see you in here. See. One second, you guys. Okay. There we go. All right. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Let's Talk Autism. Well, where it's all about parents helping parents, another way for us to socialize, share our journeys, come together to learn things, because we learn new things every day, and support one another. So if you are brand new to our Let's Talk Autism Live, this is an open discussion. So if you have a question, feel free to throw it in the chat. Um, if you can answer a question, feel free to chime in at any time. If you have some good news, some not so good news you want to share, that's what it's all about. And again, it's just another way for us to socialize. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Nita. I am one of the admins of this wonderful establishment that we call Autism and Us. And I am the mother of a 19-year-old son, my baby boy, who is on the autism spectrum, and his name is DeAndre. And we also have Mr. Charles here. Mr. Charles.
Hello. Hi, Nita. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How about you, Nita?
I am doing good. Last week I thought the holiday. I don't know why I said happy Thanksgiving. But we're not going to be here next weekend because of the Thanksgiving holiday. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Hey, Cody. First time here. I hail from, another Connecticut person here.
Yeah.
And I'm a proud member of Autism Spectrum Community. Well, welcome, Cody.
Cody, yeah, what part of Connecticut are you from, out of curiosity? Because I live in Hamden.
Hey, Kelly, how are you this evening?
Hi, Kelly.
And Teresa says she's doing good. That is wonderful. Well, our autism sister Monique gave us another topic, which is rather a good one because I've been through this too. But I want to talk about, it's still open topic, but I want to talk about the different ways us parents and caregivers and others spread autism awareness. He says he's from Bristol.
Bristol, okay, yeah. I have to look at the map, remember where that's at. I think it's somewhere near Hartford, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Okay, Bristol, Connecticut. Well, welcome again, Cody. So, Monique had sent the video, and I had to look it up. Video is a couple months old where an influencer was complaining about about autistic children, and he specifically brought up Shay and Bree. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but I love them. I love the videos and their mom, Auntie. And also he had made mention that children with disabilities, autism, he specifically said autism too, should not be on an airplane when if they're going to make noise, which, okay, it's not just autistic children, maybe it's everyone. Yeah, people may get a little irritated. But he also said, and if your child is going to be doing, I guess, the little motions, and irritating other passengers, then they should stay home. So, I've been getting by myself since I've been posting DeAndre a little more. I've been getting a lot of similar comments. I had one comment that told me that I shouldn't have DeAndre on on the internet doing what he's doing, because a lot of people might not like it. You know, when DeAndre stems, one of his stems is his little dancing and jumping move. A lot of people might not like it. So his stemming bothers people. Um,
Well, if they don't like it on the internet, they can turn off it. They can change the channel.
and that's what I said. That's what you could block me. And then, you know, I had one, I've blocked so many people. I had one um, to tell me that I should put them away.
Oh man.
Yes, yes. I mean, cruel comments, cruel, just cruel. So basically, uh, uh some people, a lot. I've had a lot of positive comments, which are beautiful. Some people don't want to see autistic individuals happy and doing what they do, or they think that because we allow them to do certain things that make them feel good, that's not harming them, that's allowing them to be themselves, that we're bad parents. I had one guy said I was just such a bad parent because I allowed him to keep doing what he's doing, or because he wasn't going to bed. That's what it was. Because I had made a post that he was up, and he kept going back and forth. And I don't know why I kept up with the conversation, but he was pissing me off.
Well, on top of it, you have the fact that DeAndre is technically at least an adult,
Yes,
and
he is
and
an adult.
so
Yeah. Yep, he
you
is.
know, and he
So,
might have a child's mind, but he's got an adult's body. And so, as
yeah,
far as the bedtime thing goes, I mean, you don't have the same thing as you would with a 5 year old. When you 5 year old, I could see people saying 5 year olds should be in bed at a certain time. But you're talking about someone who's 19 now, I think, right? 19, 20, 19, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, technically an adult. It certainly has an adult's body, and so,
Mhm.
uh,
But see, you with all of these, uh, like people giving their thoughts about not having us, they want us to keep our kids in the house. We shouldn't show them on the internet. We shouldn't allow them to do certain things. We should demand. I had people on some of the comments, I would have his ass sitting down. He wouldn't be doing that in my house. How do you know?
yeah. Well, he ain't doing that in your house.
Right. And how do
Good.
you know what he would be doing in your
He ain't in
house?
your house.
I have a child on the spectrum, or uh-oh, in my internet. I just went zoop. But
Yeah.
so the conversation I want to have is the different ways we spread awareness. Um, Now I share a piece of our life. You don't see everything. You know, there's good days, there's bad days, there's ugly days. I share most of the time when DeAndre is feeling good, doing his dance. I like to answer questions. So when people chime in, they want to know certain things, I can answer about DeAndre. I can give suggestions of what I did. And that's my way. People who don't know about autism, they appreciate that. Then there's others that's on the internet. They may not show their kids, but they speak about autism. Um, there's other people, you know, that um, may share their children, but they only share their children and don't say nothing. But that's still some type of awareness. Then you have people with boots on the ground. You know, they go out, they do things, the community, they share resources, which I do when I do go out. I share resources. I love to spread, you know, awareness that way. If you need a resource, and I can help, and I know of one, I will definitely share that with you. So there's a lot of ways to spread awareness. You don't just have to be somewhere at a speaking engagement talking about it or on the internet just giving tips and tricks. All of that combined, all of this is spreading awareness about autism. I'm spreading awareness about my child. So, what are you guys' thoughts with what I just mentioned? How do you feel about the other thing? One more thing is people will say you have your child on the internet like it's really a bad thing, but because he's autistic, but you'll see someone post a child that's not on the spectrum and crickets. It's okay for that child to be on the internet, but it's not okay for, this other child with autism to be on the internet.
That's nonsense.
Hey, Teresa.
Hey,
Hello.
Teresa.
What are your thoughts, Teresa?
I have a lot of people that come up to me and ask me about autism. We wear our t-shirts constantly. I have neighbors that we talk about our autistic kids. So we love to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I
And
express I tell them what autism is.
mhm.
What the difference between from how my son is to kids that are nonverbal who uses an AAC device as their communication. Like, really? Does your
How
son
do you
use one too?
feel?
Like, yeah, my son uses one too, but
How
not
do
he's
you feel
more
about
vocal.
people? How do you feel about people wanting us to keep our children in the house? Uh,
Heck no. I tell them like they tell me like, "Why do you keep your kids?" I was like, no, my son goes everywhere I go. He's proud of who he is.
mhm.
I tell them if they don't like it, they can stay inside their house and be by themselves. I don't care. It's just my son is who he is. DeAndre is who he is.
Yes.
And I love his dances. I love
And
his
then the other
back
thing,
and forth.
I show when DeAndre stems.
I love it.
Sometimes he flicks his hands, he has the mouth movements, and sometimes he'll cross his eyes, especially when he's excited. And see, these are things people will see not only on the internet, but when we're outdoors, when we go to the grocery store, when we go to the park, when we go out to eat. These are things people need to see,
Oh yeah, and people ask me
and get
why does my
used
son
to.
have a stuffed animal? It's like because it's his comfort zone. That's who my son is. He loves carrying his baby Yoda around everywhere he goes, or has a cell phone with his headphones with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Hey,
who
Kelly.
he is.
Kelly says doing great. Had my boy's 21st birthday weekend with my daughter, grandson, and mom and dad. Well, happy birthday. Beautiful. Well, to answer your question, Charlie, Bristol is 19.2 miles from Hartford. Oh, not that far,
Yeah, you live near the Southington town line. I know where that is. Yeah, that's in the southern part of Hartford County. Yeah,
huh?
that's right.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Closer to ESPN campus.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Cody. Yeah, my buttons were ooh. And when you're on the internet, I have to learn to I keep saying this, I have to learn to just immediately to start blocking people who say things like that. Now, if you want to come over and offer a suggestion, that's absolutely fine. But when you start telling me I shouldn't allow my child to do such and such, when you obviously see that he's happy doing what he's doing and he's not hurting anyone, then, mm-mm.
And I'll make the comment about the plane. Now if a kid makes loud noises, there's some things as a parent you got to use good
Yeah,
sense about.
I agree.
Some things, maybe taking him on a plane might not be a good idea. But if it's just moving around, waving his arms, whatever, if he's not getting in other people's faces or anything with that, he's just waving his arms, and people don't like looking at it. They can look a different direction.
Mm-hmm. And then I would say that it's not just our autistic kids; it's with, any kids. Kids will make noise. But yeah, I agree. If it's to an extreme, then maybe it'll be helpful to do something about that, or take the kid on practice runs before they go on an airplane trip to see how they can handle it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, some things use good sense about as a parent, but when it comes to some people don't like to look at him flapping his hands. Well, as long as he's not getting his hands in people's faces or anything, doing something that yeah, you could see why that's a problem. If just people don't like looking at him waving his hands, well, that's their problem.
Hey, Evelyn, doing good over here. How are you?
I
Yeah,
I
everyone.
remember David was one when he was 1 years old, and I took him on his very first airplane ride. And the steward is in mid-flight got asked me if they can take him for a little walk around, showing him different things because he was stimming on a
Yeah,
plane. Because we
Mhm.
were flying from here to Los Angeles for my grandma's funeral
yeah.
and all that. And that calmed me down.
And they also have, I
And they
think
gave him his very first
JetBlue
little. They showed
has,
him the cockpit.
yeah, JetBlue has a program where they will take autistic kids on a simulation ride before
Yeah,
they actually go on a trip. So I think that's good for our kiddos. But to tell our kiddos they shouldn't be in spaces outside of the home, that's terrible.
I,
Yeah, that's the thing. In public, again, it's one thing. Loud noises are a little different story from stimming. If you can't stop the child from making loud noises in places, then maybe you got to use a little common sense as to where you take the child. But short of that, the waving his arms and so on. I mean, people don't like that. They can look a different direction.
Mhm. Um, if anyone is viewing the live from inside one of the groups, if you like to join the live conversation, you in our live chat, you have to actually click on the video, and that will bring you to our live chat where you can because if you make a comment from within the group watching the video, I may not see it until after the live is over. But if you click on the video now, if you want to make a comment or have something to say, click on the actual video, and that'll bring you to the live chat. Kelly says when Jeremiah was little in the 90s, he would act out in public and people would make comments about me spanking him. Oh, yeah, well, that's with any kids. People going to make comments.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to say something. Monique says, hey, there she is.
Hey,
Monique,
Monique.
if you want to come up, you are more than welcome. Um, uh, hey, Kelly, how are you?
Hi,
Kelly has
Kelly.
arrived. One thing I do to spread awareness is by fighting for inclusion in school, community, and church. Yes, yes. I think most of us are advocates automatically for our children in one way or another. But yes, it's good to be out when, like Teresa says, t-shirts are a great way to start a conversation because when I was working, I used to wear my shirts all the time. And, someone would stop me and say, oh, I have a child on the spectrum, or oh, I didn't know you had a child with autism, and that would spark up a conversation. So yes, spreading it within the schools, the community, the churches, anywhere you can. It's always good
Uh,
to spark up conversation.
my church is a big inclusion on kids with autism.
Good, good.
'Cause we have like at least other kids, four other kids that are on the spectrum, including my son.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. A lot of churches now, a lot of churches now are starting to get with the program. Um, with kids on the spectrum, they make provisions or accommodations, I should say, for them, and that's good. That's good. But then you still have those churches that they don't want the noise or the distractions. Kelly says, first, I don't make excuses for my child's behavior. My child is who he is. I explain his sensitivity and his mindset with the world. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Either they can accept or can move on. We definitely have to have hard shells as parents. And you're right. Definitely. Like I said, it takes a lot. Sometimes I'll read a comment and I just like uh somebody said something about, oh, he should be in bed or something. And I chimed in and said, why? Why? We're up for the morning. Why should he be in bed? And then, that starts the back and forth. How are you gonna tell me if I'm on here telling you, we're up, I might be a little sleepy, of course. That comes with the territory. But we're laughing and stuff, and you come in here telling me what my child should be doing or what I should be doing with my child or my adult child. Um, if a person can do better than me, then have at it. I could use the help. Yep. Yep. If you got some solutions, have at it. Um, Cody says I actually wear a special mentally handicapped pin on my work uniform to show and express awareness. Awesome. I have even seen an episode of America's Super Nanny, and Deborah Tillman work with a child in a family who has ADHD and was a handful in his family and needed to learn proper discipline. I know what it's like because I actually have ADHD and Asperger's syndrome under the autism spectrum, as well as claustrophobia and anxiety disorder. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good to have you with us, Cody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us and thank you for sharing a piece of you.
Yeah.
It's
There are quite a
wonderful.
few of us adults on the autism spectrum, and there are quite a few who've never been diagnosed, too, especially people in my generation, my age bracket, who, just, I mean, we grew up at a time when very little was known about autism. And hadn't been for my daughter going to see Rain Man and then urging me to see it, I might never have been diagnosed.
Mhm. Kelly says, I used to wear my autism mask during COVID and had a lot of people come up to me with their stories about their kids and family. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I guess I think I shared this with you guys before. It was one time one of DeAndre's favorite stores is Myers. So we went into Myers this day. I needed I said Myers, here he comes.
Hi,
Yeah,
DeAndre.
Hi, DeAndre.
we're gonna get you a ninja sword. Ninja sword? Yes. So I needed a charger, and when we go in there, I have to let him go down the I have to allow him to go down the toy aisle. So he'll usually pick a car or something because he loves cars. So as I was standing there waiting for the guy to help me with the charger cord, I told him he brought the cord to the counter, and I said, "Well, they have an electronic session. They like you to either pay for it there or they'll give you something to go up to the front." So I said, "Hold this right here. I'm gonna go over here and let him pick out a toy." And DeAndre has mustache and goatee, so the guy looked. He was like, "Him?" And I was like, "Yeah, him." And he just shook his head. I said, so I had explained, I didn't have to, but that gave me an opportunity to explain to him, well, my son has autism. So, him being at that time, he might have been 17 or 18. He's more like a 5-year-old, so. But yeah, take every opportunity you have to spread awareness. Yeah, we're gonna go later. Yeah. I'm gonna get you a ninja sword. I done started something. Hi, Cody. Welcome up.
Hey, Cody.
Thank you.
Hey, Cody.
Hello. Yeah, like I was sharing in the chat before, I actually am a member of the spectrum. I actually was diagnosed young with ADHD, and actually I also have Asperger's syndrome underneath the autism spectrum.
Yeah, that's what I was originally diagnosed with, but now the preferred expression is level 1 autism, so that's what I always tell people I have. But Asperger's syndrome is also an expression that has been used.
So why, Mr. Charles, why did they change it? What was the reasoning?
There were a few reasons, but one reason is just realizing that autism is a spectrum, and that Asperger's syndrome, what they called Asperger's syndrome, really wasn't a separate thing from autism. It was just a different level of autism, and that's one thing. And then another thing is that parents who wanted to get services for their children found that they couldn't get services if they said their child had Asperger's syndrome, but they could if they said their child had level 1 autism.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's interesting to know that.
It's helped. It has helped.
But and then there are some in the autism community that dislike the term Asperger's syndrome, and I'm not going to even get into their reasons, because I think it's one of these things, no matter what you call something, somebody's going to find some reason to find it offensive. So I'm not even going to get into those reasons.
Understandable.
Kelly says Aurora goes to the buddy group at church. I'm trying to set up monthly meetings for special needs parents and caregivers for resources. Awesome. See, if you have an idea, do it. Do it. Anything to spread awareness, and I like that. Beautiful. Hey, Pammy. How are you?
Hey, Pam.
We're talking about Monique had shared a video, and I had looked up one of the influencers was having a time saying we should keep our kids indoors, and talking about on airplanes also we shouldn't take them out, and as well as I've gotten a couple not very nice comments about DeAndre. Basically, a lot of people want us to keep our kids in the house, and awareness that we have a long way to go. So how continue to spread autism awareness.
I actually wear a very special handicap pin on my work uniform to promote and express awareness.
Okay. That's
okay.
Awesome.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yep. Very good. And Kelly says, hi, Cody.
Hello, Kelly.
Kelly asks, how do any of you handle the public restrooms with your adult children?
That's a very good question, actually. I mean, it all
My,
depends on different levels of the autism spectrum.
now
What do you
with
say, Charlie?
Yeah, and I would say the same. I mean, for me, of course, very little was known about autism when I was growing up, and so I went into the men's room, and of course back then too, the world was different. The world has gotten more dangerous for children since then, and you don't let a child go into a public restroom alone anymore.
No.
yeah.
But now, as far
So
as
that
once I've grown, again, I did things for myself. That wasn't an issue. But I think you're talking more about adult children. You got a 19-year-old boy who's got a 19-year-old young man who's got the mental capacity of a 3 or 4-year-old. How do you
he's not
handle that?
going. He's not going in the restroom by himself
Nope.
because one, not only is it dangerous with his level because he's level 3, DeAndre. I worry about the nastiness and how he's gonna, work the restroom. So what I usually do if I'm in that situation, I will go open the door and ask if anyone's in there, first of all, in the women's. If it's just me and him. If I know, usually I think it's only happened maybe 2 times. The rest of the times there are family restrooms, so you don't have to worry about that. But for the
Most places have it like that.
yeah, for the places that don't, I will call and see if no one's in there, I will go in there with them. If someone comes in, I'll let them know. My son, he's on the spectrum. He's using the bathroom. Will be right out. And I haven't had an issue. But yeah, I will not allow him to go in a public restroom by himself because of the danger and sanitation reasons. I want to
Yeah,
make sure he's not, sitting on something he shouldn't be, because he don't know. He just want to go in and use the bathroom. So yeah,
the other thing is that a lot of places, like fast food restaurants, you have just single toilet bathrooms. So there it's
yeah.
not an issue
Yeah.
because you've got it all to yourself.
hmm But I like the places like where he goes. Most doctors or buildings, those buildings, they have the family restroom. So that's awesome. And I appreciate those because, when we go out in those buildings, we just look for family restroom.
Yeah.
But stuff
What about you, Kelly? Oh, let me
going
see.
into a hospital
Say
and
that
take.
again.
And what's harder is hospital. Is
What's
taking your kids to the hospital and all that.
uh-huh.
And when they have to go to the bathroom, it's like I had that situation back in October last month. I had that situation. I had to take my son to the hospital because he was running a high fever at the time. And he couldn't walk because he was sitting down in a wheelchair, and they needed a certain test done, and I had to take him to the bathroom to make sure he goes. And it's like the security guards asked me, "Is like, ma'am, he can't go to the bathroom with you." It's like, my son is on the spectrum. He's on the
At the hospital?
autistic. He has a mind of a kindergarten first grade. He is not going to wait out here by himself. He is the patient. He needs to use the restroom. I got to be in the bathroom with him. So, well, let's see if there's anybody in the women's bathroom and make sure that if there is, then I'll find you a private restroom where you can go in the bathroom with him.
Yeah, usually most of the hospitals now they should be equipped with family, but or the single, the single restrooms.
Yeah,
And they
so they found a handicap restroom for
okay.
people that are handicapped and that have different disabilities. So I got to go in there, but my son didn't want me in there
Mm. He wanted
because
to use,
because he wanted to do his thing. I was like, okay, I'll step out. You finish doing it because he
yeah.
had to give
Well,
it.
as long you were outside the door.
Yeah, I had to stand outside, but he had to do a urine sample.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's do it. Here you go. And I stepped out the door. It says, let me know when you're done. He says,
Okay.
I'm done now, Mom. It's like, okay.
See, now DeAndre wouldn't understand that. I would have to go in and help him with his urine sample. So, because if I gave him the cup and say, use the bathroom, I would have to keep saying it. He probably would and dump it out. So,
Yeah. I was like, David, I have to hold it. It's like, then I can't go.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, then I won't force you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they needed it really badly. So once we got called into the very back rooms where all the other rooms are at, and it says, David, you need to do it in this, okay? So, okay, Mom, I gotta go. Can you step out? I was like, yes, I can step out. I'll be
That's
right here.
awesome.
He goes, Mom, I'm done now. It's like, thank you, son.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, here you go, nurse. He's like, woo, he had to go.
Yeah.
Kelly
like,
says, I have to take Jordan with me in the restroom because he can't go by himself. Obviously, I can't go in the men's room. I definitely get looks, no comments. So, yep. Same
Yeah.
with me, Kelly. I definitely in the women's room. But I am considerate. I will, hello, anyone in here? No one's in, we'll go in. If someone happens to walk in, I'll let them know my son is in here, has autism, will be out in 1 second.
I've dealt with that too from one of my past jobs. I used to have to clean women's restrooms.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
did you? Okay. Okay. So you would make sure to holler in,
Yep.
cleaning. Okay. Hey Danielle, how are you?
Hey, Danielle.
You're welcome. How's those babies, Danielle? Well, they're not babies, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So, what's some other ideas of you guys spreading awareness? Um, what
Hmm.
do you think the public should know about autism and our children? Cody, what do you think? What would you tell people since you're on the
Well,
spectrum? What would
well,
you
I,
like people to know about being on the autism spectrum?
I actually haven't. I don't know much I would do, but I actually have seen a family that does do a special event for their child that has autism.
Okay.
That actually that has a business on the side. They do with their son, and it
Mm-hmm.
actually is like a charity event fundraiser.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Now we have quite a few.
one of them was actually on an episode in the reboot of Shipping Wars, and this couple won the bid on it,
Mm-hmm.
and they originally were getting paid $750. They decided to donate that profit back to the family for future events they would plan out.
Okay. See, that's awesome. But it was a community event, right? Where they shared or
Yeah,
invited our autistic babies, I call them.
yeah,
Um,
it was like a racetrack event they would do. It was named after their son.
okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, that was nice. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Charles? What would you like the world to know about autism?
I think, the fact that it has many different faces. And, I like Temple Grandin's book, the one that we were doing in the book club, and then they kind of got off of that. But the book
Sidetrack.
Visual Thinking, because it really it shows all that and the different types of thinkers there are in the world. Um, even of course the different types of thinkers. I mean, not all visual thinkers are on the autism spectrum. I mean, my wife thinks in pictures, and she's not autistic. And and but I learned where I fit into the picture too. I'm what Temple Grandin calls the visual spatial thinker, because math is my big subject. You know, when
Mhm.
I was
And
in
mine too.
when I was in my senior year of high school, I placed first in the state of Connecticut in a national math contest,
Wow.
Uh,
and I was always a few years ahead of my peers in math. And so, and in her book now, I understand, where I fit into this, because I thought I don't really think in pictures, but then again, I don't think I'm a verbal thinker either. What am I? And now I've got it. She has a broader understanding of different ways people think than she had when she wrote Thinking in Pictures back in the 1990s, back almost 30 years ago.
mhm.
I even downloaded that
Ter-
book.
Teresa, what are your thoughts on? I know you said your T-shirts and when you're out, but what would you want the world to know about autism and your child?
Get to know them. Get to know who they are.
Yeah, that's
That's
important.
important.
Yeah,
And
instead of
not judge them.
being immediately judgmental, get to know them. Ask
Yeah.
questions.
Hmm.
I welcome questions. If you want to know something about my son, I am a professional when it comes to DeAndre's autism. So if you want to know something about DeAndre, don't assume, you know, and what I allow him to do does not make me a bad parent. Just because I'm showing him on the internet doesn't make me a bad parent. You get a piece, very little bit of our life. Very little. Trust me. Trust
And
and
what
believe.
and what we go through
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
and
a
what
lot
exactly.
we have
more
Yeah.
to
to
deal with.
this.
Yeah.
Kelly says that our children may not always understand you, but they have the same feelings as anyone else. And yes, they do. They do have feelings.
Yes, my son, major feelings. If
Mhm.
you tell if they somebody there was, I think it was one day we were out and about. Somebody told him like, you're not autistic because you're not dumb and not stupid. I was like, my son goes, what, mom? I was like, what, David? She just told me I'm not autistic. You tell him who you are and be proud of who you are.
Or the other one is he doesn't look
They
autistic.
don't look
Right.
autistic.
That's it. Go right there.
There's some
Right
people,
there.
I think some
Right there.
people after watching
Right there.
Rain Man think we all
Yes.
look like Dustin Hoffman. Maybe that's what they think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
because
And
comment.
that's when my son says, I and that's when my son says, I'm proud of who I am. I'm
Mhm.
autistic and that's who I am.
That's right.
yeah,
If
because
you don't
autism
like it,
doesn't
you
have
go.
looks.
Right. Exactly, Cody. There is no autism look,
Yeah. I mean, there's two possibilities. One is they might be getting confused about Down syndrome, which does affect a person's appearance, or the other thing is from after watching Rain Man, they may think we all look like Dustin Hoffman. Like I said,
Yeah.
Kelly says you can keep your math, Mr. Charles. Right, Kelly.
And
Exactly.
well, it
Well,
comes in handy.
The other Kelly says, I would love to see employers have more understanding and awareness of autism when it comes to parents having to leave work to help their child. Some do understand, but some don't. Yeah,
yeah,
you are absolutely right. Um, Need to be more flexible. They some, even if you get FMLA, some work, they are not, too keen on you using it, but it's there for a reason. But yeah, you're right, Kelly.
I know what
Good.
it's like. I know what it's like. I've actually worked with job corporations to help me find work.
Okay, awesome. So Danielle,
and
what are
that
your
that
thoughts?
impacts little.
What are your thoughts about autism awareness? What would you want the world to know, Danielle? Kelly says, my son is Down syndrome also. So people think that he should be like a typical Down syndrome child. A very hard situation for him and
That's
us.
not true.
Yeah, a typical Down syndrome child. What is that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
what is it?
and that's not true.
That's not true, Cody.
It affects everybody differently.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. What is a typical Down syndrome child? You
Mm-hmm.
know.
It's not easy to tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Even anybody with
And
ADHD it can be hard to tell.
I've actually seen on YouTube. There's different. I didn't know, but there are different types of Down syndrome. Some people don't have that, that look that we all expect, you know, with Down syndrome. I didn't know there were different types. So sometimes you wouldn't even know they had Down syndrome unless they
I've
told
I've actually seen America's Super Nanny Deborah Tillman work with two families, with one that had a child with Down syndrome and the other with autism.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that one of your favorite shows, Cody?
Yeah, it was one of my favorites. I love Dr. Deborah Tillman.
Okay, awesome. So, what are the things, Cody? Share a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do in your
Well,
free time?
well, outside of my part-time job, I'm pretty much usually I'm pretty much play the I pretty much work at home. I take care of things around my parents' home. My favorite pastime hobby is playing with trains. It's been a passion of mine since I was very young.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
Even
Mr.
have a
Charles,
model train since I
did
was
you
13
like
years
trains?
old.
Mr. Charles, did you like trains or cars?
Yeah, I did when I was little. I had an electric train set that I had when I was a kid, and I liked that for a while. Then when I was 10, my parents gave me a chemistry set, and I liked working with the chemistry set, and I liked that. And I got some more advanced chemistry sets in subsequent years, and I enjoyed working with them. During my early teenage years. Um, so I mean, those are some of the things I enjoyed back then.
Awesome.
I mean, now, of course, as far as leisure time things, well, sometimes Cindy and I will have friends over for dinner. Sometimes
No,
we'll get together with friends and play bid whist.
you love that big whiz, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Kelly says special needs children are truly teachers to the world. Yes, I agree. Maybe
As do
they
I.
are the geniuses in the world. We need to be their students sometimes. Yes, I like that, Kelly. Yes,
Amen to that.
because they teach us a lot, right? They really teach
Yes, my
us
my
a lot.
son teaches me a whole lot every day.
No, Sammy, I'm not picking you up.
I've actually
Oh,
even no, there's even a professional carpenter out there. I'm sure you probably heard the name Ty Pennington.
no, I haven't heard.
Yes, I know who he is.
He actually is on the autism spectrum himself too.
Now, who is he?
Hmm.
He's a designer. He started out on the former TLC show Trading Spaces
Okay,
when they
But
would
then
redesign a certain room in the house.
but then he also did Extreme Home Makeover.
Yeah, he did that. He also served short time on a Food Network program called American Diner Revival.
okay,
His most recent venture he did was actually a recently canceled program called Battle on the Beach with HGTV.
okay.
right. Danielle says I definitely learned a lot from my son. Oh yeah, because you're fired. um, she says, "Oh, you watch it too? Okay, yes, I love Ty. Bus driver, move that bus. Is that something he says?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
something he said. An extreme makeover.
Okay. That's awesome. Man, he's on the spectrum.
Yeah,
That's
he
awesome.
is.
Okay. All
Found that
right.
out from a little research I did.
Okay. Kelly says, I learned more about life through Aurora. I'm saying that it's like a Aurora. That's a beautiful name, though. Then 4 years of college. She is my best life coach. Yes, our kids teach us a lot for sure.
Well,
Okay,
I
you
have to
guys, we
say,
are at our last few minutes. I put the link in the chat. If you'd like to come up, you are more than welcome. If you want to share some good news, some bad news, some not so good news, if you just want to share something about awareness, if you want to ask a question, if you have an event coming up, please feel free to come on up and tell us about it these
uh,
past few minutes. Go ahead,
I have
Teresa.
some good
I'm
news.
sorry.
David is 4 weeks seizure free,
Very good. Very good.
and he
Yes.
goes back to school tomorrow. He
Okay.
gets to go
Awesome.
back to in-person school.
Very good.
Very good. Very well. That's good to know. So you got
Hmm.
seizures under control. I am happy. He learned some stress techniques through therapy.
His doctor is hooking him up with a counselor,
Okay. Okay.
and
Good.
also PT too.
Okay.
DeAndre, what are you doing? Okay.
One thing I didn't mention is that I actually have a favorite game show I always enjoy obsessing over.
What's that?
What's that?
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
Wheel
yeah.
of
Yeah.
Fortune.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
that
yes.
show.
That's a good show too. Kelly says our children teach us patience. Oh, yes, Kelly. Oh, my goodness. One thing for
Know about
sure
that.
is you have to have a lot of patience.
Well,
That
especially a
is for
doctor does.
And we need a lot of it. Yes. Yes. You have to have a lot of patience. I know with DeAndre, oh my goodness. But through the years, some things I can, just block out. I can, you know, but yeah, you definitely have to have a lot of patience with our babies and the love, but the love is there. So,
And
That's
then I signed
important.
David up for bowling every Thursday now. That him and
okay.
I do
All right.
I enjoy doing that.
together.
Yeah.
You like bowling too, Cody?
Yeah, I'm more of the handicap bowler. I bowl with the bumpers.
Okay. DeAndre bowls with bumpers too.
Actually, my best game I ever did with bumpers was back in my childhood. I was 48 off a perfect score.
Okay.
Very good.
Danielle says, caregivers, don't forget to care for yourself this week. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate. Thank you, Danielle.
Agreed.
Definitely take care of yourself. Kelly says, I tried to come on, but I can't. Is it the link? I'm not sure. It might be the browser, maybe. Jordan's dad and I have to team tag to get things done. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's always helpful when you have help. And again, depending on your child's level, I signed my two up for bowling and basketball. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I might do some bowling for DeAndre. This boxer training and in the bowling because he does need one more thing. And they've just started um, doing PE in school, so that's good. Just keep them active in the winter. Winter time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I'm transferring my son out of Gen Ed PE and putting him into adapted PE when he gets back into school.
Okay. Oh yeah, I thought they had all that straightened out for the high school.
Well, they have to do their assessment tests on him
Oh,
for adapted PE.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora said 3 words this week. She said, "Mama," for the first time. She is 13.
All right.
Oh, that is good to
That's
hear.
an
We love
accomplishment.
that. Definitely love that. Beautiful words, isn't it? Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know she got an extra good hug for Mama. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, okay, everybody. So we're going to share our final thoughts. Mr. Charles, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, just tell everybody have a good 2 weeks. Take care of yourselves. We'll be back in 2 weeks from now, and anyway, hope everything goes well with everyone.
Teresa?
Yeah.
Have a happy Thanksgiving and protect those babies.
Oh, yeah. Cody, final thoughts?
Well, to quote off actually a icon for us all, Fred Rogers, I will quote this from him.
Okay.
There's only one person in the whole world like you, and that's you yourself. And people can like you exactly as you are.
That's right. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. Thank you. Kelly says, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Kelly again says, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, you guys, I thank you all. And keep spreading awareness. Don't allow anyone to tell you what to do and what not to do with your child. If they are happy, as long as they're not hurting themselves, let them be who they are. Let them do them. Let them, don't be afraid to take them out into the world because people have to see them. People have to know who our children are. And no matter which route you take to spread awareness, just keep it going. Keep it going. Whether it's off of the internet, on the internet, and off of the internet, keep spreading awareness. Don't stop. Because a lot of people still don't understand, or they don't even want to take the time to understand. But keep autism in their face. Keep it in their face. And until after the holiday, you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving for those of you who celebrate. And be sure to give yourself a little grace and a little self-care. Continue loving on those babies. And we'll see you again next go round. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.